Well, here we are. Welcome back, prosperity practitioners. We are maximizing our time. I am here today with you on day number 16 of the prosperity practice. If you are a member of the prosperity practice and you already know what we're getting into here, and that is you are listening to day number 16, and that is $3,276,800 that you have received in virtual currency in your in bin today to spend on whatever your heart desires. You probably really never thought to spend that kind of money before. And that is what we're going to address. And that's what the prosperity practice addresses. The prosperity practice addresses practicing on envisioning what you actually want in your life. And a lot of this material, a lot of this is driven by, I know that I've already told you that this has been driven by Abraham Hicks. You've seen plenty of quotes from Abraham Hicks, from Earl Nightingale, from Bob Proctor, from Florence Scovel Shinn, Wallace D. Wattles, all these people. But a lot of this is driven, a lot of this is motivated by the works of Bob Proctor. And at the end of every email that you get in the prosperity practice, and if you have not joined up with the prosperity practice just yet, you may join up with us over on prosperity practice, which is prosperity-practice.com. There's a mailer sign up there, and you can join us. And at the bottom of every email that you get every day, there are some words of encouragement. They come to you by way of affirmations, and they come to you by way of quotations. And today's quotation, there's two of them. First one comes strictly from Bob Proctor, and it just says that most people are not going after what they want. And you've heard me say this time in and time over again in these words of encouragement podcasts that have been created to support the prosperity practice. That's where it comes from. It comes from my consistently listening to Bob Proctor say that over and over. I've internalized that. That is now just kind of in my DNA. My blood sings this. My blood sings most people are not going after what they want. Myself included in a number of ways, as I learn to embody this, as I learn as to ingest this, as this is what is becoming what I exude. It's becoming a part of who I am. It's becoming a part of my makeup. It's bound to come out. If you have ever listened to Wayne Dyer, if you've ever said, there's also another one that has a very similar story in Are You Ready to Succeed? If you're familiar with me at all, you would know that Are You Ready to Succeed is a phenomenal book. It's by Sral Surikumar, and it's just a great book. And in his story, he talks about an Indian dessert that's got a sticky substance on the inside of it. No matter what happens to this dessert, whatever comes out of it is always the same. It's always the same. Every single time you step on that dessert, that same sticky substance is going to come out. And why is that? Because that's what's on the inside. So when you take these quotes, when you take these affirmations, you are internalizing it. You are making a part of what is inside of you. And over time, there is no choice but to have that come out of you, what you put in you, right? You are what you ingest. So again, go after what you want. And that is what the prosperity practice is built upon. It is going after what you want. So if it seems absurd for you to have a payout of $3.3 million, then that may never manifest in your life if you can't even understand like what you would want to do with that. You've got to have an idea of what you would spend this money on in order for that money to show up. I've got stories, guys, I can tell you right now. As soon as I said that I had an idea of what I wanted in my life and what I thought that would bring me joy, I can't even, look, I can't even go into the details. If you ever want to have the conversation with me one-on-one, you got to reach out to me. I can tell you that this is the ways that this lines up, the way that the universe lines up for you is absolutely absurd. And I'm always willing to have that conversation one-on-one, just because it's amazing, okay? All right, the second part of this and the second part of today, they say people in Jersey aren't nice. This guy's let me get in front of him. The second one's going to come to you today is nothing that is possible in spirit is impossible in flesh and blood. Nothing that a man can think of is impossible. Nothing that a man can imagine is impossible of realization. What's he saying? This is Wallace D. Wattles, and Wallace D. Wattles, Science of Getting Rich, flip my head upside down, all right? This is a book that I can't recommend enough for everybody to get into, but essentially what he's saying here is nothing that you can think of. There's nothing that you can think of that can't be realized, that can't be actualized. There's nothing that you can think of that can't come to fruition. As a matter of fact, you know, if you can think of it, it is possible, right? It's possible. I don't know how else to make it so, right? In one way, no matter what you think of is possible. Is it a graphic? Is it a movie? Is it by design? How long is that going to, how does that actually manifest? That I can't tell you exactly or precisely, but I truly believe that if you can imagine it in spirit, that it's possible in flesh and blood, like you're saying here, and whatever you can think of is possible in realization. There's so many examples of this, and this is the truth of the people that sit down and write a goal. They write tangible goals, they write deadlines, they make it real, they make it possible, they write out something that may stretch themselves. You know, what is the low-hanging fruit? What is there's always a low-hanging fruit. Why do you go for low-hanging fruit? Because you need to know what's possible. You got to go for possible, and easy and easily attainable. All right, and if you can get to that, and you know that was easy, and you knew you could get to that, after you get to that, what stretches you? You put something right beyond what you know you can do, and you stretch yourself, and if you can visualize that, then it is possible. As I hope that these are bringing you extra value to the prosperity practice, and keep an eye out for some changes, and always reach out to me if you think that there's something that you would like to see in the prosperity practice that is not happening right now. Let me know. Maybe I can make it happen, maybe I can't. But I'll always look into it, and I always want to hear from you. One of the most exciting parts about this whole thing for me is to see your engagement, and that happens by way of you utilizing the form that I provide for you in the email section. There's a little button in there that you can go press, and it gives you a tool where you can actually write out what you would spend that money on, but it also shares with me what you're doing. And God, I get so excited when I see you are actually engaged with this, because it just means you're taking action somewhere. It means that you are stepping in to a realm of possibility, and there's nothing more exciting than for me to see. There's nothing more exciting for me than to see that coming from you, and to be a part of you just imagining something, to be a part of the excitement that's in your life, or just partaking in this. It's a thrill. I can't stress that enough. It is an absolute thrill, and I always look forward to capturing that. And if you don't want to share it there on the forum, I'd love to hear from you in the email. And if you're looking for more of a community type thing, we've got a Facebook group that is beginning to support this activity. So you can head over to Facebook, the prosperity practice, ask for entrance, and we'll go ahead and let you right in. That's it. Take care.